Welcome to the Greens, where instead of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, we have Randall the Green-Nosed Flytrap. I'm Rob Peters, and it's that time of year again, folks. Christmas season. Mariah Carey has fully defrosted, people are infusing fruitcakes with a bit too much alcohol, Jack Frost roping on an open fire, chestnuts nipping at your nose, and Rankin and Bass hasn't made anything Christmas-related since 1985. Yes, sir, it's getting festive in here. However, this also means that there's nothing to talk about. As we all know, a new law was passed in the Greens that makes crime illegal during Christmas season. That means we'll have to figure out something else. That's why I've decided to make a story for you all. So please, pretend there's a fire in the room instead of just on the radio and sit around it as I recount the tale of a Greens Christmas Carol. Alright. Marley was dead to begin with. Wow, what a buzzkill. But it's true. People saw the funeral. It was an open casket. Yes, sirree, Marley's dead as... How exactly is this important to the story? We'll get to that. But for now, let's go to our protagonist. A grumpy old man named Ebenezer... Scones. Ebenezer Scones. Now, like I said before, Ebenezer Scones is a grumpy old man. He only cares about his money. He also hates Christmas. If Ebenezer Scones was an animal, he would be a Grinch. And yes, a Grinch is an animal. Shut up! He owns a business that does something, and has employed a man named Ronald Matchstick. These definitely aren't names I'm making up, I promise. Anyway, Scones wouldn't let Matchstick take a break during Christmas, which I think is illegal? I don't know. Anyway, that would mean he wouldn't be able to be there for... Wait, that would be spoilers. Don't worry about it right now, we'll get to it later. Did I mention this is taking place during Christmas Eve? Well, I did now. Anyway, Matchstick made 15 shillings a week. What's a shilling? I don't know. How much is it worth? I don't know. But that's what he made. Maybe it was billing as in dollar bills, but that's not a phrase either. Whatever. Let's just move on with the story. When Scones made it to his house, he noticed something strange about his door knocker. It was missing. Someone stole it again. This happens all the time, not just someone stealing from him, but specifically someone stealing his door knocker. It's because he doesn't know how to nail it on correctly, and who would pass up the opportunity to get a free door knocker? Some people even say his door knockers are solid gold. They're not, but it makes stealing all the more enticing. Scones reminded himself to order a new one and went to bed. Or at least tried to. After Scones changed into his pajamas, he sat down on his bed. But before laying down fully, he saw a face he didn't think he'd ever see again. Marley? The face, which was of course attached to a head, which was of course attached to a body, confirmed. Yes, Scones, it is I, Marley. But you've been dead for years now, Scones said. To which Marley replied, What? No, I haven't. Scones was confused. But I saw your body. It was an open casket funeral and everything. This seemed to make Marley understand. Oh, you're talking about Jacob Marley. Yeah, he's dead. I'm his twin brother, George R.R. Marley. And I have come here to tell you to stop being so mean to people. Scones suddenly gets very annoyed. But what happens if I don't? Then you'll be haunted by 3 spirits, and also you'll get on the naughty list. Scones was frightened. Wait, what? George R.R. Marley laughed. Yes, Santa takes his job very seriously. He can't slip past... No, not that. The other thing about me being haunted by 3 spirits. Oh, yeah, that. That'll happen too. Once it becomes 1 o'clock, the first spirit will arrive. I hope you're ready. And with that, George R.R. Marley called a cab which won't be invented for another 54 years, and left Scones alone with his thoughts. And his house. And his pajamas. Scones was skeptical. He's just messing with me. I'm not going to be haunted. Then Scones went to bed. Then he was haunted. The first spirit appeared before Scones in a blast of light. Scones awoke, quite frankly confused. Then he saw the spirit. I am the ghost of Christmas past, the spirit said. I'm not going to describe the spirit because I have no idea what they would look like. That's a weird thing to be a ghost of, Scones replied. I'm here to show you the past. Why? To stop you from being a bad person. What's in it for you? Just shut up and hold my hand already so we can get started. And Scones did. Then, they started flying. Eventually, a bright light could be seen. Suddenly, they were in the past. But it seems they went too far back because they were in ancient Egypt. Spirit, I think you went too far back in time. You are absolutely right. Let's try this again. Then they managed to go to the right time, ending up in, let's just pick a random number and hope it makes sense, 1638. They find themselves in an old building that Scones immediately recognized as his old school. This is my old school, Scones says. Yes, and it's time to go through your past, the Spirit replies. And so they did. They saw a time-lapse of the years as Scones slowly developed from a boy to an older boy. How are you able to do all of this? Scones asked. The Spirit just said, I don't have the slightest idea. Suddenly, everything goes back to normal speed as a girl walks by Scones. Well, past Scones, not present Scones, which is actually future Scones. You know what I mean. Do you recognize her? Asked the Spirit. Not at all, Scones replied. This confused the Spirit because this was supposed to be the part where Scones finds love that he loses shortly after. They must have done something wrong. Well, in that case, don't worry about it. Let's just go into the bath some more. And so they did. They end up seeing a bachelor party that Scones was in, as well as some other things that I can't think of right now. But the most important part was a wedding that took place. Scones was visible to the Spirit and other Scones, but the person he was marrying wasn't. However, it's clear that this is the part of Scones' life that changed everything. Hey, Spirit, do you think we could stop here? I'd rather not go to the next part. Well, the answer would be no, but I'm actually getting kind of tired, so let's go back to your room now. And so they left. Which means it's time to share with you a secret. The person Scones marrying was Jacob Marley. The second ghost was already there when they went back. He, in fact, was in Scones' living room. Come in and know me better, man. And ghost. What are you doing here? You were supposed to be done showing him the past ages ago. Well, that explains why I'm so tired. Anyway, he's all yours. Scones, meet the ghost of Christmas present. Presents? No, present as in time, not present as in gifts. I wish I was the ghost of actual presents. This back and forth went on for about 5 minutes before the ghost of Christmas past finally left, leaving Scones alone with a weirdly large spirit. You are a weirdly large spirit, Scones said. What is that supposed to mean? The spirit replied. Don't worry about it. Anyway, you're going to show me the present? Yes. Please come with me so we can fly through the present. And so Scones did. Again. And they started flying. Again. First, they went through the street, watching everyone play and have fun. I think we can skip this part. Time for the important part of this section. For their final trip, Scones and the Spirit went to the house of, what did I call him again? Ronald Matchbox? They went to Ronald Matchbox's house and learned that he's actually quite a family man. He has a wife, a mother, and even a son named Very Small Timothy. However, sadly, Very Small Timothy is suffering from, let's just pick a random disease, tuberculosis. Is that a real thing? Anyway, Very Small Timothy was suffering from tuberculosis or whatever I said 5 seconds ago, and was very weak. Scones was worried about the child. Tell me, Spirit, will he be okay? The Spirit responds, I don't know, that's out of my jurisdiction. I'm only really good with the present. Scones wasn't happy with this answer. Is there some ghost of Christmas future I can talk to then? Yes, there is. But he isn't for another 5 minutes. Plus, I have one more thing to show you. Suddenly, they were in some black void. 2 children appeared from the darkness. The Spirit pointed to the first child. This is Ignorance. The Spirit pointed to the second child. This is Marvin. Scones was confused. Why are you showing me this? The Spirit responded, because I was told to. By who? My boss. You have a boss? Yes, George R.R. Marley. Who else do you think brought us here? And then the ghost of Christmas present dies for some reason. How are you liking the story so far, folks? We have one final section here, so please bear with me because things are about to get scary as we finally reach the ghost of Christmas yet to come. Or the Ghost of Christmas Future. Whatever you want to call it. Scones looked behind him and saw a cloaked figure. This cloaked figure was very tall, and his face was hidden. He had this aura of intimidation to him. "Am I in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come?" Scones asked. The spirit did not answer. "I'll take that as a yes." The spirit didn't have any time to joke around. They got right to work. They forcefully took Scones' hand and brought them to the future. First, they found themselves in some strange, dilapidated house, where some people were talking about some dead guy. Seems that the people didn't like this person very much. Scones was quite frankly confused. "What is going on here, spirit?" The spirit did not answer. Then they went to an auction house, but they saw none other than Scones' pajamas. "Spirit, what are my pajamas doing here? Do I not own them anymore?" The spirit did not answer. Penultimately, and this is the sad part of the story, they went to Robert Boxer's house once more. Randall Baker was there, as well as his wife and his mother. His father was also there. I think I got to mention him last time. However, there was one person that was notably missing. Very small Timothy. "Spirit, where is the child?" The spirit did not answer. "You're not implying what I think you are implying, are you?" The spirit did not answer. Finally, Scones is taken to a graveyard. A headstone is pointed to. It has dust on it, so he can't see the name. "Spirit, can you at least please say something to me?" The spirit does not answer. Finally, Scones walks up to the headstone and wipes away the dust, revealing the name on the headstone. Ebenezer Scones. Scones has only one thing to say about this. "Wait, what? No, I'm immortal, right?" And he was. He's been alive for 4,000 years now. He even still lives in the Greens to this day. If you bump into him on the street, tell him I said hi. However, for the sake of very small Timothy, and for plot purposes, Scones decided to be nicer to people, including raising Ryan Fletcher's salary and even donating to charity. And very small Timothy, who still lives on to this day, only had one thing to say. "My name is just Timothy. I'm 6'2" by now. Stop calling me that." The end. That was A Green's Christmas Carol. I hope you enjoyed the story. Now, if you excuse me, I think that fire I started has gotten out of control and has taken over most of the recording studio, so I'll have to fix that. But, in the meantime, from me to you, goodbye, good night, good luck, and have a very merry insert holiday that takes place in December here.